Hey everyone, this is Vir McCoy, and this is a summary of my book, Healing Therapies for Long COVID, and I include my protocol. So, long COVID, what is long COVID? Long COVID is caused by spike proteins. Some people's bodies cannot break them down. Spike proteins are the ends of the virus, right? It's part of the virus. It's literally the trash of the virus. Some people can't handle them from genetic reasons, predispositions, mold, whatever it is. Some people's bodies are just like, does not compute. Whether it comes from the vaccine or COVID, it does not matter. Some people, a percentage, 10, 5, 10, 20% of people who get COVID or the vaccine just cannot handle the spike proteins. All the science has come out on that. Okay, so the spike proteins gets in your body, and what happens is you get all this inflammation that happens because your body's not recognizing. It's like a piece of sand stuck in your cells, right? In the non-classical monocytes, it's a kind of immune cell that they get stuck in. So your body sends out, hey, what's going on, Fred? I don't know. What is that? Oh my God, the enemy, right? The enemy is now you attacking the cell. So this creates all this inflammation, all this histamine. It's kind of like an autoimmune situation. And you have all these crazy symptoms that I won't go into, including, for me, it was like burning skin and your gut gets all messed up and the parasites and molds and other bugs flare up because the immune system's busy and you get mast cell activation syndrome and POTS, tachycardia, heart issues, and there's just a whole myriad of symptoms that happens with long haul COVID. So for me, the number one goal is to get those spike proteins out, right? Or block them. So as I spoke before in the series with the book, my favorite blockers are ivermectin and nicotine, tobacco. My favorite spike protein breaker downers are the homeopathics, salicylae, graphites, and petroleum. Also, chlorine dioxide works good with breaking these down, and the enzymes, nattokinase and lumbrokinase, right? Take your pick. We've got spike protein blockers and spike protein breaker downers. We want at least one of each. You can try two. A lot of people have had success with just ivermectin and nicotine. A lot of people have had success doing with just the nattokinase or the homeopathics. Those are my main ones, right? The second thing we're going to do is modulate the immune system. The immune system's going crazy. So it's not about boosting it, it's about calming it down, right? So this involves also the limbic system. The limbic system is responsible for places like, it's the PTSD. When we get PTSD, the guy on the island that thinks the war is still going on, right? Fred, the war is over. No, it ain't, Sarge. It's like, no, those are women and children. Hold your fire, right? That's autoimmune kind of situation. So there's a PTSD going on with autoimmune. There's a confusion in the immune system. It's a dysregulation really of what the immune system is going on. It's like crossed wires, right? It's not recognizing the spike proteins. So we want to calm the immune system down. We want to smarten it too, right? And that's good with the adaptogenic plants or adaptogenic herbs, that sort of thing. And so the products that best do that. So there's the microdosing is a really great way to get out of that limbic system loop. You can microdose the psychedelics, you can microdose ketamine, you can microdose mushrooms, you can microdose San Pedro cactus, wachuma, you can microdose LSD. I would often rotate through those, like 2 days on, day off, and then rotate to another one. Those are good at helping calm down the limbic system. Ketamine is like an anesthetic. So again, it gets you out of that limbic loop. And there's a lot of great science on all those medicines and on helping with PTSD, with calming that immune craziness down. The mushrooms are fantastic. Reishi mushrooms, chaga mushrooms, turkey tail mushrooms, those as powders or as tinctures. Those all help modulate the immune system. They smarten the immune system. Ashwagandha is another favorite of mine, and also colostrum or IgG. And there's a bunch of IgG immunoglobulin products out there, like Immunolan, and there's a bunch of other ones. But those all help modulate the immune system, right? The mushrooms, ashwagandha, colostrum. There's others, many others. Those are my favorite, right? So we're modulating the immune system, we're calming down the limbic system. Breath work is really great, but slow breathing. The longer the exhale, the longer you hold your breath, the more carbon dioxide builds up in your blood. When that happens, that activates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is responsible for calming us down. It's the opposite of Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas is stimulating. We want to calm down. Increasing carbon dioxide in our blood calms us down, activates the vagus nerve. Look into limbic system rewiring programs. Look into breath work like Buteyko breathing, which calms us down. Look, all of that is great for the immune calming down, immune modulation, right? And the limbic rewiring. Okay, healing the gut. The gut is really key. COVID hits the gut first, right? It creates dysbiosis, it's called. And that's basically like, say you got a big pile of your gut bugs, and a bunch of the good guys get knocked out, and the bad guys get out of jail free cards, including other weird bugs like viruses and Epstein-Barr and Lyme disease and whatever parasites you had that were normally kept in check. Everybody gets a field day. So then you got to deal with all this dysbiosis in the gut. Your microbiome gets completely sidetracked. So we got to work on healing the gut, right? Get the gut lining back in shape. One of my favorite medicines is butyrate, B-U-T Y-R-A-T-E, butyrate. That's a really good one. Things that tighten the junctions because you have leaky gut, right? You may have histamine reactions. You may have inflammation response going on. So healing the gut becomes really key. The probiotics I found the best were Bacillus subtilis, also called HU58, and Akkermansia, Akker, Mansia, Akkermansia. Bifidobacterium also is really good, found in kefirs, things like that. That's keys. You got to heal the gut. You got to decrease inflammation. Everything's going haywire. You got to pull down the inflammation. Hot, cold plunges. That's great. Cold showers. Drink ice water, right? Anything that can cool you down. Great herbs like boswellia, which is frankincense. Turmeric extracts like curcumin. Be careful with curcumin if you have an oxalate issue. Other great, resveratrol is a must, right? Just be on resveratrol. This segues into histamine stuff. Quercetin for histamine. Famotidine, which could be Pepcid. Any of those antihistamines, H1, H2. My favorite being ketotifen, Ketofin. This is all in my written protocol. You can look at this. Ketotifen is really great, right? Things that bring down the histamine, things that bring down the inflammation. Great. And then antimicrobials or antifungals or antiparasitics. So this kind of segues into the gut issue a little bit, but we want to be able to knock those bugs down that have gotten their get out of jail free cards because the guard is busy. Hey, Fred, look, go. He's busy, right? Antimicrobials, antiparasitics, antifungals. My favorites, tobacco. Tobacco, right? It's that spike protein blocker also. But that's really good. Colloidal silver is great. Some of the antibiotics can be really good in short courses. Amoxicillin I found to be really helpful, especially with my gut. You're going to have to look into the antifungals, antimicrobials. Get tested and see what bugs you're dealing with. Do a stool test that tests not only for parasites, but also tests for molds and fungus. You got to find out what's going on, and then you'll need the right remedy to treat those or just keep those down, right? Where you're getting the other things going. You want to increase the cellular health and cellular energy. So the mitochondria inside your cells they're like your little battery packs. They get drained, right? So things that help them, CoQ10, NAD, niacin, niacinamide, those kinds of things help the battery pack. Look into that. That's really important. Lymphatic drainage and detox. So the lymph system gets all backed up with all of this trash from the spike proteins. So look into lymphatic massage, lymphatic detox, lymphatic herbs like red root and ocotillo, things that help drain that. Look into detoxification. Huge. Your body's overwhelmed with all this crap. And you want to get all the heavy metals out anyway, the microplastics, the molds, anything that was already like underneath the surface piling up, and then long COVID on top of it. So you want to be rotating some detox stuff. Coffee enemas are great. I love the liver gallbladder flushes. Pectosolve, modified citrus pectins, a really good one. Chlorella is another great one. Cilantro for metals. Charcoal, the bentonite clay, zeolites. So what I found is that some things work better for other people, and some things don't. So you gotta, with your detoxers and your binders, those kind of things, really work with a specialist, but you need to do some kind of detoxing, sweating, infrared saunas, right? Get that crap out. Rebounders, bouncing, exercise, right? Getting the lymphatic system to move. Okay, great. Daily vitamins and minerals, because you're being really depleted, you're going to need just hitting the daily vitamins and minerals instead of taking lots of individuals. Just get a good, like a liquid vitamin that has all of them in there, right? Get tested for your heavy metals, get tested for your vitamins and minerals, see what's low, see what's not, see what's out of whack. That's really important to look at. I've seen mineral imbalances be the issue with people. It's like, oh, you're just low in copper. You just need a little bit of copper. Okay, healing past trauma. This is huge. What is it that's dampening your immune system underneath all of this, right? Underneath the COVID, underneath the whatever it is you're dealing with. Is there unresolved trauma? Is there unresolved emotional stuff that's hampering the immune system? You got to look at that. Things like, psychotherapists, plant medicine ceremonies, if you want to go that route. And then there's what I call spiritual healing, and that is really going into your intuition and finding out what it is, what remedies that your body really needs, right? And I have a number of meditations online that I help you go into your body and find out what it needs. But also, even more than that, is like anchoring in love. Why am I even here? What's important to me? You have to stay anchored in your heart. You have to stay anchored in what you love, and you got to stay anchored in your fire, in your body. I always say that awakening is embodiment. What's dampening your fire? Where have you lost some power, right? Where a loss of power is like parasites can creep in there, right? Oh, where are you not home? Spiritual healing, really getting in your body. And the spiritual healing may include like layers of forgiveness, right? Forgiveness is huge. Forgiveness is it's the universe goes around and round on forgiveness, right? Start digging into that. Where do I need to forgive somebody? What one of my ancestors was not able to deal with some intense trauma, and they stuffed it down. The study of epigenetics, and now I got to deal with it, right? Like I got to deal with homie's karma. Yeah, you got to deal with it because all those little things, all those places of unforgiven, they're like glitches in you, and they're all dampening the immune system on a certain level. So you got to check that box. You got to feel it to heal it, right? The grief ceremonies, the anger rituals, whatever it is to move those old stuck feelings. And that's how the light gets in the cracks, right? All right, that's my quick summary, quick protocol. For more, check my website, Vir McCoy Health, VIRMCCOY health.com. And you can check my book out, Healing Therapies for long COVID. I also have a book on Lyme disease and a book on cancer that's coming soon. Be well.